So if you've just come to my channel, you might think that I am a really costumey kind of a girl and that I go to all these costume balls and I just always have. It's actually not true. Case in point, in elementary school, I was pretty much a black hat every year from 1st through 5th grade because we had a black cat and I really liked black cat. When I was a little older and going out for Halloween with some friends, and it was actually the night I met my husband, he was dressed in a full Scottish Highlander outfit, and I was dressed as a black cat. And then after we got married, we had our kids, they would always ask me, Mommy, what are you going to be for Halloween? And I would say a black cat. There was one year that I got tucked into being Princess Leia when they all decided to go as Star Wars characters. So I got a little dress and I did the buns with yarn. And we all went out as Star Wars characters, except all the dads in the neighborhood were giving my husband the elbow and the old side eye and going, can my wife borrow that outfit later? So that was the only time I dressed up for Halloween in that way. But all that changed about a year and a half ago when a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to go with her to a Bridgerton ball. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry, because I didn't know what that was either. Bridgerton is in fact a show on Netflix, and it's set in the Regency era, which is like Pride and Prejudice. Everybody's crazy about it because that girls just wear the most gorgeous dresses. And it's really sparked a new interest in the whole Regency, Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen era. Although the Bridgerton show, I think, takes it to a level I don't think Jane Austen even would have dreamed. Just buyer beware. So I do love that era so much. And my friend was a little persistent. And she assured me that it wasn't going to be weird. And if it was weird, we would just leave. So I agreed to go. And I did feel a little silly dressing up in my outfit, but I did have fun. So I went to another one, and I went to another one. And it sparked this whole interest in sewing because all the girls at these dances, not all, lots of the girls in the dances actually made their own dresses. Some of them hand sewed their own dresses. So I got interested in sewing, which I have some other videos about that whole journey. So I sewed my own Regency dresses, and then I saw that there were other eras that you could wear dresses to, like Victorian and the ones where they wear the big humps. I don't know what that era that is, and the wigs, but it's just a lot of fun. And so I looked around and I found that there was 1940s dances that you could go to. So I signed myself and my husband up for one, and of course I needed a dress. Originally I planned to use a vintage pattern, but I took one look at it and went with a modern pattern instead. And I ordered some chiffon fabric, which ended up being really slippery and tricky to work with, so I had some challenges. Who would think something so dainty would be so shifty? I didn't realize that chiffon was also extremely see-through, so I ended up having to layer the chiffon over pieces of satin. So just kind of trying to sew it as one, and that ended up being tricky also. As you can see, my cutting was way off. Ugh. I don't know. We had a rare southern snow event, so I took our 9-month-old pup Lulu out for her first walk in the snow, and that made me feel a lot better. Okay, so I have found some remnant fabric. I think I have enough to do 2 of these bodice pieces over. So I'm gonna try to do that. It worked. I finished my dress. And then we headed off to our hotel because the dance was a couple hours away. We got all decked out, we grabbed some dinner, and then we headed off to the dance. Now, in full disclosure, my husband and I had taken some dance lessons before we went to this dance. We've been taking ballroom for, I don't know, a few months at this point. So we knew a few moves, but clearly we're not the best ones there. They also had some group dances. So if you didn't know any of the moves, then you could at least participate in that way. And they also had some amazing Andrews Sisters style singers. We danced the night away. Clearly, this is not us right here. We're the couple on behind. But we had just had a great time. At the end of the night, we still had enough energy to mess around in the hotel's vintage-style lobby. And we are planning to go back next year and definitely going to brush up on our moves.